Hey, baby.
Hey,
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good.
It's been a long time.
Took a little break. We're not even finished season 1.
No.
We got 2 more episodes before we finish season 1.
Yep. And thank you to those who listen regularly. And we're sorry we haven't added any more episodes, so we're back at it.
We took a little vacation.
Yes, we did.
Much needed vacation.
Much needed.
Got out of the country.
Yeah.
Did a cruise with some friends.
Really enjoyed it.
And counting down the time till we do another one.
Yes, it was good. We were with other couples, just unwinding, spending time with our spouses, trying to reconnect if there was any disconnect or, just getting better, tweaking some things. So, yeah, we had a good time with the other couples.
And with each other.
Absolutely.
At sea.
Yep.
We just talked about, our last episode was, let's talk about sex. And so we had the boat rocking. Then we had...
To the topic for tonight.
I'm sorry. So you chose the topic. I asked you what you want to talk about, and you, what did you come up with?
We're going to let's talk about being vulnerable in our marriage.
What made you think of that topic?
I think it's a much needed discussion. I think we all need it, and some people just need to hear it.
You said we all need it. What do you mean? We all need what?
To be able to be vulnerable with our spouses. And not be afraid.
Why do you think people are afraid to be vulnerable?
Scared of reaction, scared of how the spouse would take it, scared of the spouse not taking them serious.
Okay.
And it's very serious.
It is. I agree with you. But it may not come natural to people. Maybe it's not necessarily the spouse. It's just who they are, grown up with
With the wall up.
Yeah, or that wall could have been formed through past relationships, life. And so now you've got this person that you're learning every day, and it may not just come natural.
It's true.
I know I can speak for me. I can't speak for all guys. I'll get questions like, what do men think about this? I was like, I don't represent the race or the gender rather.
I don't represent all the men.
Yeah, I don't. I hear some things that men have done, and I'm like, that I never would have thought to do something like that. On the thing of vulnerability, depending on how you were raised, a lot of guys are taught to, guys don't cry, suck it up, don't show emotion. And if that's something that is in you and has been taught, just because you say I do doesn't necessarily change that about you. That's who you are coming into the marriage.
Right.
And so that may be who you are in the marriage, and it's not something that you're trying to hide or something you're not trying to be. It's just actually who you are. You're not a emotional or vulnerable or showing vulnerability, because we all have them, no matter who you are, strongest, toughest, whatever. We all have those things that we may necessarily have fear, but could be a fear or things we struggle with. But we'll dive into, I guess, why it's important to show that vulnerability.
So you think it's hard to be open and sharing your feelings?
It can be. If you've never experienced doing it, it's just something that may not come natural to you if you've never learned how to express it in a positive way, or express it at all. If you've suppressed it, it's not gonna come natural. It's almost like getting up in front of a bunch of people. That doesn't come natural to certain people, and they practice it in order to get it. And there's tools to help people get better with public speaking. I'm just giving an example of something that doesn't come natural. So, public speaking is something that may not come natural to people, but they learn how to do it through work, through practice, could be, Toastmasters is one that people do. So same thing with vulnerability. To me, it's something, if it's not natural to you or something you haven't done before, just because said I do to someone, doesn't mean it's all of a sudden, snap, it's going to become natural. You disagree?
I'm just saying, being vulnerable is more so of being open, sharing your feelings, sharing your experiences. I can see where someone can shut down if a spouse have ridiculed them about something they shared or made fun of something they shared. I can see that way them shutting down and not sharing. But I think being vulnerable, you're just really being open. And I understand why some will be reserved about it, especially if it's been in a past relationship or whatever, and that other partner, whatever, you know, shut them down when they shared. Yeah, I could see them having a wall up and be like, okay, I don't know if I want to share with my spouse now because of past hurt or past experiences. I can see that.
Yeah, and I don't think it's even the spouse. I mean, I think it's just
Relationships, any relationship.
it could be relationships.
Yeah,
It could be something in
absolutely.
school that happened to you, and it just caused you to shut down. It could be anything that caused you to shut down. And now, if that spouse isn't supportive of you getting to the point where you can share, I mean, if they automatically want you to share, boom, hey, I need you to share. I'm like, I don't know how to share. Well, I need you to figure it out. It's not necessarily a good answer.
Well, then that's when they can share their experience of why they are the way they are.
If that person encourages them to do that, right?
Yeah.
Because sometimes you may have people that don't know how to ask the question a different way in order to get you to respond, right? They just give you that same, well, I just need you to share. Well, I don't know how. Well, I just need you to figure out how. Well, I don't know how. Well, this ain't working, right? There's no support in that type of statement. There's no anything. It's I expect you to be able to hit the switch and turn it on and turn it off. That's how I look at this subject, because I just think about myself personally and sharing. It wasn't
You're not a sharer. You don't automatically come out. It has to be pulled out of you.
that was not nice.
It's the truth.
I wasn't gonna say it like that. You just
I'm just telling you. Like
yeah.
it is.
Well, and it's not to not share. It's that certain things, for me, and I would imagine some guys are like this. After something happens, they move on to the next thing pretty quickly. And it's not that you're trying not to share. It's just like it was insignificant to you, but maybe not to your spouse. They want to know, right? But it's insignificant to you, so you just kept it moving. And it wasn't that you're shutting down or not trying to share. It's just a part of what happened that day, and it ain't nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's how you ask the question. How was your day? It was good. It was good. It's not a lot, but
More detail.
so detail.
Yeah, details. So the devil's in the details.
And that's why we don't give you details, because you find devils in the detail. There ain't no devil in that detail. You just want to find some devil in that detail. There's nothing there. We
So,
just
yeah,
share differently.
We do. We give more details.
You do. It was a comedian, and I'm gonna get it wrong, but he was saying something to the fact of came home, and the wife asked, "Hey, did you go to the store and get the chicken?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got the chicken." And she had the same experience to tell him that she went to the store and got the chicken, but she did it like this. Yeah, when I walked to the store, in the store, I looked to my left and I saw this girl. She looked like such and such from, you remember that show? She looked just like that. And so I went down the wrong aisle first. Then I found the right aisle, picked up the wrong pack of chicken, ran into such and such and talked to her for a minute. And then when I got to the cash register, because I was running my mouth the whole time, I forgot the chicken. So I went back and got the chicken. And on my way home, I started to stop and do this and do that. He might have had the exact same experience,
But didn't tell it all.
but he got the chicken. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, I got the chicken.
That was
That
it.
was it.
Those are differences.
It is. It is.
So I don't know if that's really talking about vulnerability, but I think it's more about how do we express things to each other, or how we just communicate as a whole. It's just different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I remember one time.
At band camp.
No, not a big camp.
Sorry.
One time back at the old house. Remember downstairs in the basement when your office used to be in the bedroom, and you shared experience with me. You were real open and you cried, and
Yeah.
during those times like that, you look for your spouse to encourage you, and I did. You know, I held you, I encouraged you, and that's what we're talking about, being vulnerable, and not for a spouse to like, oh boy, if you don't stop all that crying and da 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 da.
Yeah, because if you'd have did that, that'd have been the last time I told you anything.
No, I wasn't gonna do that.
Yeah,
But,
I remember that. I mean, I was struggling.
yeah,
Had I think a company that closed. I can't remember what situation, but I just felt like I wasn't providing
yeah,
for our family, and it just hurt me. You were supportive enough to allow that to happen, but I trusted you in that moment to be able to express it, and it felt good. It felt good not to have that burden and to hold on to it, and that's a part of it. We have to be able to release that. And as you get older, and I think even now in this generation, it's a little different than our parents' generation, than their parents' generation as far as expressiveness, especially with men.
mm-hmm.
I look at even my dad, as he's gotten older, he's gotten more expressive. He's shown more vulnerabilities. In growing up, man, maybe he showed it with my mom. I don't know, but I know to me and my brother, I didn't see any of that. I saw a military man, straightforward, like a rock. And later in life, I've seen him cry and express and be vulnerable. So maybe it comes with age too. And maybe like I said, the generations where you hear now, we tell young men and women, it's okay to cry. It's okay to express
It's
yourself.
okay. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong. You're not weak because of this or that.
Yeah, we should be able to do it, and hopefully it's not difficult to. And there's different ways and different things. Some topics are harder than the others. To be open and honest with each other about.
It is, especially if you've done something that's going to hurt that person. Except if you've done something that you said you wouldn't do again and you did it again. And it's maybe nothing against the spouse. It's just maybe you, XYZ, I'm not going to,
Right.
eat that many Snickers bars at once. I don't even like Snickers. No, Reese's. Reese's. Give me those Reese's. But maybe it's something like that, and you felt like, man, dog, I ain't do what I said I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna hear it, or if I'm vulnerable, she ain't gonna pick me up. He or she they're gonna put me down.
Not necessarily.
But they could.
Could. So why is vulnerability important?
I think it's another connection point, right? I think it draws you both closer to each other.
Mm-hmm. It does improve communication.
It does.
Leads to better communication.
It does.
If you don't have it, it can lead to better communication.
Yeah.
It can build trust.
It does.
And I think that's important. Having that trust.
And to me, it's a stress reliever when you don't have to carry all that stuff, and you've got someone that you can just let it all out to, and they can support you, and they also can challenge you in the right way with it. Some of those vulnerabilities, there's a song reminds me of a Ty Tribbett song. If you're gonna cry one night.
Just one night.
Just one night,
mm-hmm.
Right? It's all right tonight. Let it out, but let's get to work tomorrow. So that's kind of how I look at certain things. Some things take longer than a night, but
yeah,
having that person you can lean on, it's important.
Very, very important. Foster intimacy.
If I need to shed a tear to get some, I'm gonna go ahead and I may yawn, get that tear coming down.
Oh God! But doing it in the right way, not just.
Oh, not just to.
No.
Yeah. No, it does. It does all of that. Do you think it's easier for a woman to be vulnerable?
I think so.
Why?
I don't know. I think because we are more so emotional creatures. And I think the way God built us, we just like to share any and everything.
Yeah, you do use more words naturally, and so that helps.
I can tell you, I don't have a problem telling you like, hey, can we talk about X, Y, Z? I feel like, especially touchy subject, I just feel like I can.
Yeah. I agree with that. And I feel like I can as well. Sometimes I just don't want to. I just want to eat, get some, and go to bed.
No.
I'm being serious. Okay. I used to be that way. We've gotten better.
You've gotten better, you mean? That is no we.
Oh, you ain't got.
I've always been.
So you had no room for improvement? You mean you came into this thing perfect, and there's no room for improvement?
I did not say that.
You said.
I did not say that.
So you've regressed? It's either you improved, stayed the same, or regressed. Ain't no.
I didn't regress.
Okay, then that means you had room for improvement. I was perfect. I'm perfect, Patty. You perfect.
Didn't say I was perfect, Patty.
You might as well said it. Jeez, oh bread.
I did not say that.
You said we.
I did not say.
No, we. That's you.
Oh God.
I know. Yeah, I see why you picked this topic. It's something you thought you was just gonna throw on me the whole time.
No, not here pointing fingers. Not here. We're not judging.
I think it's too late.
No judgment.
I think it's already done. You've already done it. You've already done it.
I did not.
It's okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. We got to be able to point each other out.
Oh God. But
well,
no.
You've got to be able to point me out. I can't point you out.
And you can point me out.
What you do when I say something?
And you point me out.
What you do?
It depends on how you say it and how you do it when you point it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That's what it is.
I'll be vulnerable when I point it out for you.
Anywho.
The biggest thing here is if you can't be vulnerable with your spouse, you need to figure out why, and you need to do that pretty quickly, because that is your person, right? We need someone, and you need to be able to express it to your spouse. I mean, that's the person you're building life with. We talk about that all the time. They should have your back. That's why they're your spouse.
That's right.
I would love to think that people don't go into a marriage to not have their person's back. I'm sure it has happened. I'm sure not every marriage is built on a solid foundation, but it can be. Mm-hmm. And for those that are, this is something that you've struggled with. Find out why. Probably get to the root of it, because there's a why. Mm-hmm. What happened in your life that caused you not to be able to open up, and then work on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Be able to, if it's something your spouse said or did, you should be able to, in peace and love, and relay that message like, hey, I didn't like what you said, did, acted, whatever it was. That spouse should be open to hear you.
And maybe and make sure you're in the right frame of mind.
Yeah.
It's probably not.
That's what I said. Peace. Yeah.
Yeah. I like how you said that.
Yeah.
This podcast came out of me sharing with you, and God laying it on my heart to share everything. Don't give piecemeal. Not that I was intending to do that, but that was the message, was give her everything and watch how she builds you up. And there's such a relief in that, to lean in on you in that time, and something good came out of it, and something's good that's coming out of it continuously, is that. And we may slip up, right? We
even when you still came back, even when you revisited, the subject of, what happened, whatever, I never once like, okay, when you gonna let it go? Okay. No, I kept letting you come when you want to come, when you talk. And I kept telling you, you know what? God's got you. God's going to, he's going to do what he do.
That's right.
So, yeah, that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to build our spouses up. We're supposed to be there. We're supposed to have each other's back if nobody else does.
Yeah, and you was ready to go to battle if I wanted to go to battle. You still want to go to battle, and I was like, hold on, don't do it. You like, let me do it. Let me get him. Let me get him. And I love that. I love that because I know you got me.
Yeah, I got you. I like when you hurt, I hurt.
Yeah.
And I didn't like seeing that part, and so that's the way we should be for each other.
I agree. So vulnerability, folks, it's important. It may not come natural, but it's worth working on to get to a place where you can be vulnerable with your spouse, whatever the subject, whatever the situation, the issue, if it's your issue.
Whether it's beliefs, whether it's morals, whatever values, whatever it is.
Yeah, if you're struggling with something that you are ashamed of, go to them. And see how they, especially if you go humble. I think that humility, if someone cuts you while you're being humble, then you got bigger problems.
Oh, yeah.
They stomp you when you're down. You've got bigger problems. But I would love to believe that, your spouse won't do that to you.
Right.
Now, they may unintentionally say something to you in that moment, and you just got to be able to, like you said, come back and say, hey, I didn't like that. So I think that's important. So I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you took a couple jabs at me, but you did it the right way. So it's okay. You did it the right way.
So just remember some key things, about being vulnerable in your marriage. It fosters intimacy, brings about...
How'd you say that?
What?
You said it. Say that word again.
Foster.
The other one.
Intimacy.
Say it again.
Oh my God.
It's how you said it.
No.
It's not, anyway. You had it like an extra syllable.
I did not.
I'm sorry.
Oh my word.
Did I mess you up?
Yes.
So foster intimacy, communication.
What else does it do?
It also brings you closer.
Yes.
It brings you closer. The relationship continues. It bonds you. Yes. Yeah, it grows. Absolutely. It grows, and it gets you a chance to know them even better. So I love that you can continue to discover things about each other.
Absolutely.
So thank you for bringing it up, babe.
You're welcome.
If you don't follow us, please do. You can find us on all the different streaming podcast channels, platforms. You can follow us on our YouTube channel, also on our Instagram channel. Like and subscribe, all those things. The bell, it'll be down here. I always wanted to do that because people say, "Oh, let me do it up here." It's gonna be up here too. So I
see
get
the little finger pointing up right now.
Down. So I'm gonna put it there when I do the edits.
Oh gosh.
And our plan is to be back next week.
Yes.
With another topic, and then we'll celebrate 10 episodes. It'll be our first season. We won't take too long of a break between the two seasons since we took a break in between.
Yes.
So
glad to be back. So continue to follow us through it all. I've got you with Marc and Suranda. Take care.
Take care.